The 1995 penny in your pocket. The one you probably walked past this morning. It might be worth more than your house. I need you to listen carefully. Not because I'm going to yell at you. Because what I'm about to tell you could change your entire life. And most people will never know it. I'm talking about the 1995 Lincoln cent. No mint mark. Now pay attention, this is the important part. Not every 1995 penny without a mint mark is valuable. That would be too easy. The Philadelphia Mint made more than 6 billion of them that year. 6 billion. They're everywhere. In your couch cushions. Under your car seat. Sitting in a jar on top of your dryer. But here's what doesn't make sense. Hidden inside that massive production run is a tiny number of coins that should never have existed. And if you find one, you're not looking at a few $100s. You're not looking at a few thousand. You're looking at a number so high, most people think it's a typo when they first hear it. Let me take you back to 1995. Bill Clinton was in the White House. The internet was just starting to enter American homes. Gas was about $1.15 a gallon. And at the Philadelphia Mint, something happened that would confuse experts for years to come. The minting process in 1995 was the same as it had been for decades. Giant coils of copper-plated zinc were fed into blanking presses. Those blanks went through annealing furnaces to soften the metal. Then they hit the upsetting mill to raise the rim. Finally, they were fed between two dies under enormous pressure. The obverse die, which stamps the front. And the reverse die, which stamps the back. On the obverse die of every Lincoln cent since 1969 sat a tiny detail most people never notice. Right below Abraham Lincoln's shoulder, near the truncation of his bust, were two initials. VDB, Victor David Brenner, the designer. Those initials had been on the coin since 1909, with a brief removal and return. By 1995, they were standard. But somewhere in that production run, a die was used that didn't belong. A die that was never supposed to be paired with a 1995 dated obverse. Nobody could explain why. The mint's quality control should have caught it. The die room procedures should have prevented it. But it happened. And a tiny number of 1995 pennies entered circulation carrying a feature that, on a normal 1995 Philadelphia cent, simply isn't there. Most people stop here. Don't. Because the surprise is coming. Just hold on. I need to be honest with you for a second. When I first heard about this error, I dismissed it. I thought it was one of those internet myths. Someone posts a blurry photo of a coin, claims it's worth a fortune, and suddenly everyone's checking their pocket change for something that doesn't exist. I've been hunting coins for decades. I've seen too many fake claims to count. But then I saw the proof. Graded. Authenticated. Sold at auction. And that's when things got strange. Because the price wasn't high. It was astronomical. Let me show you the difference. On a normal 1995 Philadelphia cent, the obverse is standard. Lincoln's portrait. The date. The word liberty. The motto "In God We Trust." And nothing else unusual. On this coin, when you examine it under magnification, in just the right spot, you see something that stops your heart. The obverse of this coin has a doubled die. Not the kind of minor doubling that adds a few dollars of value. I'm talking about dramatic, visible separation. A die that was struck multiple times in the hubbing process, where the image was pressed into the die at slightly different angles. When that die then struck coins, every single one of them showed that doubling. And the specific location of the doubling on this 1995 cent is what changes everything. The doubling appears on the word liberty. And on the motto "In God We Trust." And critically, on the date itself. 1995, doubled. Visible. Clear. Documented. Once you see this, you cannot unsee it. It will jump out at you every single time now. The technical name for this is the 1995 double die obverse cent. Sometimes called the 1995 DDO penny. That means the obverse die used to strike these coins was itself created with a doubled image during the hubbing process at the Philadelphia Mint. A die that was supposed to be destroyed. That was supposed to be caught. That wasn't supposed to produce a single coin, let alone enter circulation. And once that die started stamping pennies, it kept going until someone noticed or the die wore out. Nobody knows exactly how many got out. But here's what the evidence suggests. Very, very few. What I'm about to show you is the exact detail that separates a normal 1995 penny from one worth more than most people make in a lifetime. Now we need to talk about value. And I want you to understand something. I'm not going to throw a single number at you. Value depends entirely on condition. And condition on these coins is everything. In circulated condition, if you found one in your pocket change that's been banging around for decades, worn down, scratched up, maybe still recognizable but far from perfect, you're still looking at serious money. Even a heavily circulated example of the 1995 double die obverse cent has sold for several $1,000s. Think about that. A penny. Worth thousands. Because of a mistake. But if the coin is uncirculated, if someone pulled it from a mint set or an original bankroll and preserved it, the value jumps dramatically. A raw uncirculated example, red in color, with full original luster, might bring $15,000 to $20,000. Now get this graded by PCGS or NGC at MS65 red. You're looking at $40,000 to $60,000. At MS66 red, the price climbs higher. Perhaps $75,000. Maybe more. And the highest recorded auction result? Heritage Auctions. A PCGS graded MS67 red 1995 double die obverse cent. The hammer price was $274,000. $274,000. For a penny. A 1995 penny. Here's the truth that nobody talks about. Those auction results, as staggering as they are, represent only the coins that have been found and sold publicly. There are private sales. Unreported transactions. Coins still sitting unrecognized in collections, waiting to be discovered. The true peak value of the finest known examples could be substantially higher. Some estimates place the potential value of a perfect, top population specimen at well over $300,000. And if one were to surface in a grade never before seen, an MS68 red, the first of its kind, we're talking about a number that makes the $274,000 record look modest. This is what separates a normal coin from a life-changing discovery. Now you want to check your own coins. Here's exactly what to do. Step 1. Find any 1995 penny with no mint mark. Remember, no mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. That's normal. That's expected. 6 billion of them. Step 2. Look at the obverse. The front of the coin. The side with Lincoln's portrait. Now locate the word Liberty. It's to the left of Lincoln's face, running along the rim. Not the date. Not the mint mark area. The word Liberty. Step 3. Using a magnifying glass, a loupe, or your phone's macro lens, examine every letter in Liberty. On a normal coin, each letter is clean, sharp, and singular. On the double die, you will see clear separation. The letters appear doubled. A second image slightly offset from the first. This is most visible on the letter B and the letter Y, but check them all. Step 4. Check In God We Trust. The motto along the top rim. Same thing. Look for doubling. A second image. Not machine doubling, which is common and worthless. True die doubling, which shows clear separation and a rounded, not flat, secondary image. Step 5. Check the date. 1995, if Liberty and the motto show doubling, the date should also show it. The entire obverse die was doubled, so all design elements on that side will show the effect. Now I'm going to tell you something and I need you to take it seriously. Do not clean the coin. Not with water. Not with a cloth. Not with a polishing compound. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. A cleaned coin loses 80 to 90% of its collector value instantly. The natural patina, the original surface, the undisturbed luster, that's what collectors pay for. You destroy that, you destroy the value. I've seen people find rare coins, clean them to make them shiny, and turn a potential $40,000 coin into a $40 conversation piece. It's heartbreaking. Don't do it. If you think you have one, put it in a protective holder. A non-PVC flip or a hard plastic capsule. Handle it only by the edges. Take clear, well-lit photographs. Then search PCGS 1995 double die obverse cent to compare against verified examples. A mistake I made cost me years of searching in the wrong direction. When I first learned about this coin, I focused exclusively on the word Liberty. I looked at thousands of 1995 pennies, squinting at the word Liberty, and found nothing. What I didn't realize is that there are multiple double die varieties for this year, and some are common. Some show minor doubling that's worth very little. The specific double die that carries the enormous premium has very dramatic doubling. Obvious doubling. You won't need to squint. You won't need to wonder. When you see it, you'll know. I met someone at a coin show in Illinois about 6 years ago. Older gentleman. Quiet. Not the type to get excited about much. He had a 1995 double die he'd found in a roll back in the late 90s. He'd put it in a flip, labeled it with a question mark, and stored it in a safe deposit box for over 20 years. His son convinced him to get it graded. He walked into the show, submitted it to PCGS, and when it came back MS-65 red, a dealer at the show offered him $85,000 on the spot. He took it. He told me his hands were shaking so badly he could barely sign the paperwork. He'd been carrying that little piece of copper around for 2 decades, completely unaware that it was worth more than his truck. That's the thing about this hobby. The life-changing finds aren't always in the flashy coins. They're not in the gold. They're not in the silver dollars everyone chases. Sometimes they're sitting in a roll of pennies you bought for 50 cents. A coin worth more than $250,000, hiding in plain sight. The specific thing to check is Liberty. Start there. Then the motto. Then the date. In that order. Once you learn this, you'll never miss it again. I'll show you another one next time. Until then, keep your eyes open. There's still at least one out there that nobody's found yet. I'm sure of it. Next time, a coin the United States government actually admitted was a mistake. And they tried to get every single one back. But a few got away.